Hello, friends, and welcome to Tomb of Annihilation, our Monday Dungeons & Dragons game, where our characters trudge through the jungles of Chult to try to defeat the death curse, an evil curse that has plagued the land. We are back after a week. We're actually playing a couple games in a row here. How is everybody? How are all of you?
Great.
Yay!
Excellent. Coming to death curse.
Doing awesome.
Very, very good. Good to hear from all my friends.
If we say we're doing well, do we get like inspiration or a bonus tonight?
We already get inspiration.
You already get inspiration for showing up.
Well, more.
You get my admiration. That's what you get. One admiration point.
Wow.
One
admiration.
It's
the gold star.
So here, stick it on.
I will take Roland's inspiration.
It's yours. I'll just pull that over. And now you have two. Excellent. It is a very special episode of Dungeons and Dragons tonight. We might get to some regular D&D, but we are doing a deep dive episode, a segment where we are going character to character and giving everybody an opportunity to either put a scene on the table and kind of have control for a moment. Partial control. I'll never give you full control. Never. It's mine. You are able to, our players are able to sort of emphasize a scene or maybe something they want from the present, something from the past, anything about their character that they want to kind of take the time to do. I've allotted a nice half hour to everyone that gives us some extra time, and we can always go a little less, a little more, depending on what kind of content we get into. I have taken the time to write a little something about everybody, so everybody will have a scene, even if you guys haven't brought anything to the table, and again, it's not required. That is why I wrote a little something for everyone. I have individual little scenes that have the opportunity to be longer if need be, or shorter if need be, depending on how we interact with those. So that is what we are doing. We are diving into the stories of our characters to get to know them a little bit better. I'm going to change this music. I don't want it. I want something more calming. Inquisitive. Yeah, there is music.
Uh-oh.
Inquisitive, my favorite. I will always love Inquisitive. It's just calming and perfect.
Calming?
So,
are you sure that's calming?
I love Inquisitive. It's a very good.
I don't think it's calming.
It's a very good music. To start the night off, effectively, it's an open board. I have no plans of who will go first. It's just who among you are brave enough to step up to the plate. Who is interested? Who is ready to go with whatever they have for their character for the night. And you guys can elect it together, however you want to do it. Shout it out. I don't care. You guys tell me who's going first.
Should we go by most well written?
We should go by most likely to die in the next episode. So, Brolin,
I'll go first.
Whenever you're ready.
Not even 5 minutes into the session.
Already talking about killing him. You have a heart attack in your sleep.
Actually, your 30 minutes.
Roll a death save. Never mind.
Dying of a heart attack.
You know what? That is unfair. That's a value that is subjective. You know, each individual person has their own opinion. So we'll do it by who whatever character has died the most. Brolin, you can go.
All right.
He has done it. Only one.
Now, children.
Who will it
so
be?
attacked right now.
We're not entirely sure if
Well-
Rachel is alive after
How about we
repeatedly being killed.
How about we all roll
You
dice?
could do that. Whatever you guys think.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or
Let me go first. Up to you guys. I am nervous. I don't know why.
You're good.
Don't be nervous, friend.
It's gonna be awesome. You know it.
Don't be nervous. We're all just having a good time.
Yeah.
A dice roll then, gentlemen.
Roll a d6.
Damn, and I didn't bring any dice.
Roll a
Is it
d6. So good thing
or-
we're
or
using the power of
D5?
roll 20.
Yeah, I should. You can roll a d5.
Oh, dude, it looks like a d6 on this thing.
So Ed, who
Sixes
is
and rerolls.
you count 3. Yeah. Can you roll a d5?
You can roll any d, whatever.
Dang.
You can roll a D1, and that's how you always get ones if you want to do some of the equations.
Nice.
Wait, so are we rolling a d5?
No, it looks like a d6. So you
Oh.
should re-roll there, Valfine.
Okay,
Wait,
I'll do it. I got it. All right.
What does
1d6.
5 even look like?
It doesn't have a look 100%. Oh, there's
6s mean nothing.
Risha.
Well, it's low, right?
I still need war.
Going golf numbers.
I don't know.
I'm-
That's up to you guys.
Oh wait, what are we doing?
We're rolling
We're rolling
d6.
for-
So it seems like.
Everyone's rolling a D6.
Yeah,
I guess.
Going first.
All right. Were we going by highest?
I feel like we should have decided these things. And
Yes,
I
we
originally
probably
thought it was
should have.
going to be a D5, and it was
Highest-
going to be
highest
like
to lowest.
1 was me, 2 was.
I feel like this is-
3 was Kyle.
This is the situation where I'm the teacher in the classroom and you guys are lined up and you're all just pushing each other to the front. Like, no, you
Apparently
first.
lowest. I
Or-
rolled to see if it's highest or lowest.
We're going for the lowest. That would be Brolin.
Oh no! Oh boy!
My friend Dustin, hello. Welcome. You've stepped out of the shadows and come towards AO's table. Welcome to my table. It's very nice. It's very well organized. Don't touch my pencils. They're in a perfect line.
Oh.
Also, they might end the universe.
They
so-
could. They could. Please
Careful.
keep my pencils in order.
He spills a glass of water on AO's table. Oh god!
It's okay. You just killed everybody in the realm of fire, but you know it's fine. I'll fix it.
I got this rag. I got this. Here, I'm just cleaning it up.
AO sneeze. Yeah.
So I am going to begin that timer now. So we have 30 minutes. My dear friend Dustin / Brolin. This is an opportunity for you, as your character, or as yourself, to dive into anything that you sort of wish to do in the game. If you want to have a conversation with somebody previously, if you wanted to have had a memory that you wanted highlighted, something that you had. Now note that this first part is mostly you. I am very much the player in this situation. I will be adding two things that I think are cool, and I invite our audience and our players here, well, the audience being our players here. We're not interacting with chat. Sorry, I apologize. But I invite our players here to if they have a good idea to add to something you're doing, to speak up as well. But this first part will be anything that you have, and it is an opportunity to say, I don't have anything. And then we'll just go to the thing I prepared for you. That's up to you.
Okay, yeah, but I definitely have some ideas.
Okay, what is something that you would like to bring to the table? Is there a conversation? Is there a memory? Is there an idea? What do you have, my friend?
Yeah, so I imagine this is at camp. Everyone's tuckering, getting ready to set in.
You're setting the scene. Cool.
Yeah. And Brolin, something's been on his mind. He goes up to Valfine.
Okay.
So Brolin will walk up to Valfine. Hey, yeah, you know, you're pretty magical oriented. You got your book smarts. I got a proposition for you.
No, Roland, I've only known you for a few months. I don't think proposal is appropriate.
Don't worry, you're not short enough for me, and you don't have scales.
You're into scales.
Okay, so he likes kobolds, apparently.
That's good to know
All right, but
that I'm
any-
not on the list.
Well, there are a lot of kobolds, so that's positive. A lot of fish in the sea.
All right. Anyway,
I'm
listen,
not judging.
you're into the arcane stuff, right? I don't wanna. I feel iffy asking Alexandria for doing this, but I'm about to go meditate with my bowl. I want you to write any notes to write down and let me know what anything happens to me while I'm, meditating.
You want me to observe you meditating?
Yeah, I want to know what happens. Maybe something with the bowl or my runes or something.
Just gonna raise an eyebrow at you, but give you a slow nod.
All right, cool, good. I haven't really had anyone witness me, meditate before, so I want to know if something happens.
Meditation is usually a private matter.
It's true. But tonight's gonna be a big night. I found out who made this bowl. My master.
Are you going to try to contact him?
Yeah, gonna try to contact them. I don't know who they are, but about to meet them.
What are you hoping to find?
Well, some answers. Why there was a doppelganger of me. It's a long story.
Why don't you ask him about that tattoo on your arm while you're at it?
Well, that's one of them. Yeah. All right. You just get ready. Let me get situated. All right. Bro, puts the ball, starts getting ready. You got to look away for a second.
Okay.
Just look away. I can't start while you're staring at me.
Yes.
Turn your head.
She does.
Okay. All right. And yeah, Brolin uses his bowl and maybe for the first time tries to communicate with his teacher, this Ashara.
Yeah, trying to reach into the other side. So here's the fun thing that I'll say right now. And I want you to have I am definitely still the world in this situation. You do things and the world reacts to them, the world does things and you react. It works both ways. But in any case, it's interesting because what I have written for you has to do with your bowl, with the next time you have to meditate. But what I have can possibly wait, depending upon what it is you want to do. If you have something already that you have thought of, I will let your thing go over mine. This scenario,
Okay.
But if you don't, I can insert mine here very easily.
I mean, maybe a mix. He's gonna try to talk to his teacher. Maybe it could devolve into whatever.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Okay, so you are going to attempt to communicate with your teacher through the bowl.
Yes.
I guess I'll settle in front of him
Okay.
as he does this.
All right. So you dip into the magic of the bowl. You feel the energy start to encase around you as your mind slips into its many hieroglyphs and your thoughts become one with the universe that seems to sort of just exist inside. And as you do, you are reaching out towards this voice. What was the you got a name? What was the written name on the bottom of the bowl, Brolin?
Well, it was Ash, but
Ash.
it was our new friend who gave me the full name.
Okay. Yeah, and that full name?
Ashara.
Ashara. So, you begin to reach through that veil, calling out for your master's name. You do not hear words echo back at you, but you get a feeling, a sense coming at you that your call has been heard, and that is enough to give you a direction in the moment to kind of sift through the power of this, the power of your bowl, and project yourself into the direction of this individual. Most of the space that we see now is mostly just it's magic and green light, but that starts to fade away, Brolin, as you take a spectral form. You walk among a fantastic citadel, a shrine of sorts. Clinging to the side of a vast mountain are many large buildings, almost part of the rock and stone themselves. You see carvings around you and illustrations of Ubtao. This is definitely a temple that worships him. And you see what looks like blurs around you, individuals moving, and from what you can tell, from what you can see in this moment, these figures going by you are other entities, other existing humanoids, but you're barely able to get much view other than maybe some robes, just humanoid figures. But there is one figure that comes in focus, and you feel as though this could very well be the one you called out to. Something else you will immediately notice in this moment, Brolin, you go to pull forward and step, and you feel a tug, and you look down at your chest, and you see 3 strings coming out of them. Or actually, it's not your chest, rather, it's the tattoo.
Oh.
And it pulls. And as you pull at it, like, I'm imagining almost like the portal you stepped forward is behind you. It's like going through there, and you pull, and it's sort of not allowing you to go much further. What do? This figure sits. Its back is to you. It's maybe only 15 feet away, and you can't get much closer. What do?
This figure, do I have a description of it?
Yes, you see a very beautiful. You see a mane from the back, a host of feathers of many reds, blues, and yellows, vibrant colors.
So it's on Brolin's hand. The tattoo's on his hand.
On his
right?
hand, yeah, and the strings are attached through. There are 2 smaller humanoids at its side, but they are blurry to you.
Oh, he's trying to pull on it. Ashara, is that you?
The figure perks up and turns to face you, but you watch as it's not its actual form. It almost does a Doctor Strange, and its spectral form seems to shift and move from it. And it turns to look at you, and you see the visage of a elderly but still beautiful Kokra woman. And her beak, almost a silver, it hooks down at the end, almost eagle-like, and there is a wisdom to the look of this creature. And she turns her head. Who are you?
It's awkward. I'm Brolin Fireforge. I think we've met before. I felt you.
She turns her head and she says, I do not know you. How are you here?
I have one of your bowls. One of your bronze. It's a bronze bowl with animals spiraling in the center.
Where?
Well, not with me here, but with.
That's
with
something
my
that
real
alarms
body.
you, Berlin. Your bowl is usually with you.
It's gone. Oh no. Where is it? It's always been here. Where is it?
Says, I do not know who you are or how you got here. You say you had a bowl.
Yeah.
I have one student with such a totem. But it is not you.
What are you talking about?
She steps forward for a moment, and you can hear what's almost like the sound of like anytime you hear like nylon rope just like sort of go against like some other fabric, you feel the tugging on the strings, and as they sort of pull you back, you kind of like have to like force it just to stay in this place. She says, you do not belong here. No, you bring great evil with you.
Evil? What are you talking? You mean this?
I do not know how you found this place, but you must go. Never return here, and take that which is with you to the grave. And she immediately, like, I'm imagining very, very Doctor Strange style, like fucking monk spirits you, wills you out of this place. Berlin, you could try to stay and fight against it and like say something else if you want to say something, but she's going to force you. This is her temple, and you are an evil spirit, according to her, inside of it, and she is.
Oh, wait. I know what. Brolin's gonna try to resist for a second. Just
Okay.
for a second.
Yeah. What would you say?
Because he's got the tattoos. Remember on the second dream on the boat, he's got those animal tattoos on his arm.
Yeah.
On his other arm. He shows her. She like lifts it up. The bowl gave me this. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, like
They're on your bowl.
Yeah, you're like halfway through the portal and you show it, and she looks at it, and on the arm we can see as you sort of pull it out, showing just the one arm. On your opposite arm, as you're pulling it back, we can see that single tattoo light up. She's looking at it and she says, "How strange. I don't know what you are." And she looks right at the tattoo. She says, "You're not him." And she sends you away. She pushes you through. She's perplexed that you have those, but seeing the single horn tattoo forsakes you to her. You feel yourself pushed, shoved back through the vortex, and you are once again out of that spectral form, and the magic seems to gleam around you. Now, I definitely have my thing could definitely come in here, but well, this would be a good place for it canonically. But if you still have something else that you'd like to do, reaching your master has resulted in not quite what you'd expect.
Yeah. Is anything happening outside in the meditation? Because no one's actually seen Brolin meditate.
Yeah, you are watching him meditate, Valfian.
Mm-hmm.
You would
But
see
journal out with a
Yeah.
with a writing utensil.
you would see different tattoos along his body sort of light up almost like fireflies, just sort of bouncing here and there across his arms. But one tattoo stays and remains lit and is brighter than the others. It is the horned devil.
What sort of light?
It is green. It's green light. All of them are green light, but that one it stays lit. All the others seem to pulse. Any detail you want to add here, Dustin?
Oh, I was gonna say that horned tattoo starts glowing a different color.
Oh, what color?
Red.
Okay, yeah, that would be red. I like that. I like that. So it definitely seems like he's going through some form of spiritual journey. There's like a magic. There's definitely like magic happening here.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think, Brolin? Do you come out of this, or is this? Do you want my insert yet? You let me know.
I would say this is the perfect place because he's trying to. I imagine he's like, no, come back. He's trying to find her again.
Okay, yeah, you are trying to find your master, trying to find who's teaching you, who's on the other side of these things, giving you power, and you reach out. Oh, that's more than perfect. That's very, very good, Dustin. I'm going to change the music a little bit.
Goodbye.
No. Oh no.
Goodbye.
We'll go to tense. We'll go to tense. All right.
I believe this is when Brolin's heart attack happens.
How are we doing on time?
Poor Brolin.
All right, cool. We've got 12 minutes left. We're doing pretty good. This is actually great. So, Brolin, you feel you're tugging. You're trying to find where it is that the person you're trying to get back to your master, which you believe to be your master, and you hear what sounds like a laughing, a cackling, just a very light cackle come from very light giggle sort of come over you as the strings pull.
Oh yeah, tugging him along.
Yep. And immediately, Brolin, you feel your form get pulled, and you are out of that space again. We see you, Brolin, standing alone at the crossroads of the great labyrinth. Its ancient walls are covered in a thick moss. Above you, there is no ceiling, just a dark expanse of sky. You have returned to the mazes. But this path is unfamiliar to you. You look down, see the strings protruding still out of your wrist. 3 cords of light. As you pull on them, you see that each thread leads a different direction. 3. Pulled taut, they vanish a short distance down each pathway. What do you do, Brolin?
Is there any difference in the color?
Of the strings?
Yeah.
Do you want there to be?
Yeah, maybe a little like
Yeah. You see one that is green. One that is, I think, green, blue, red. We got the RGB.
RGB.
Yeah.
Cut the red one first.
Yeah, not the red one. Yeah, he's gonna try to follow the green one.
All right. You step down the corridor, the green tether. Immediately, as you step in front of it, you feel the path warp towards you, suddenly rushing at your form. And as you look back, the crossroads are gone. You are alone down this singular path.
Oh, jeez.
You turn and see a shadow sitting atop one of the walls nearby you. A figure with beaded and feathered hair, a long staff with a winged serpent-like figurehead. What do you do?
Does this figure look familiar?
It does.
Iku?
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh,
I go. Hello.
Yeah, you say hello. There's no answer.
Yeah.
Just the shadow.
I produce flame in my hand, maybe to light up
Yeah.
the area.
As you do,
Yeah.
it lights the shadow. The figure is stone, Brolin. Solid stone. Featureless and frozen. It looks like Iku, but it is solid stone. Moss covering its many cracks. It sits as still as the grave before crumbling before you. You hear, just as the rocks rattle to the ground, what sounds like the small cackle again. It rings in your ear and then fades.
Does the string vanish from one of the strings vanish?
It does not, but you feel it tug you ahead.
Yeah, he's gonna go maybe to the blue one next.
You take a step forward, and the path immediately warps, and you are once again at the crossroads. The only 2 of the strings are lit up.
Yeah, he'll go blue.
All right, you go blue. As you enter the next corridor, much as before, the path shifts before you, and you see in the distance that you have traveled a new chamber dominated by a single gazebo. A cold fog of bath leaks from behind its railings, and a figure, cased in shadow, lounges within it. What do you do?
I remember this. I go, Mushrib?
No
Mushrib,
answer.
is that you?
No answer.
Produce flame again, maybe to light it up.
You light it up, and you see your brother Mushrib, but he is stone, Brolin. As cold as the waters around him, he crumbles into the bath, that small cackle ringing at your other ear and then fading. You feel...
Do I remember that?
Go ahead.
Do I remember that cackle like the old ladies?
Maybe. You feel the string tug. Again,
Yeah, he's gonna pick angry now. All right, let's get this over with, and he'll run towards the red one.
All right, you begin on the path. You shift back into the crossroads, and you take the path that the red string follows. This one doesn't warp, Brolin. It stays firm. But as you begin to walk upon it, each step widens the walls on either side, further and further, until the labyrinth falls away. You stand upon a vast cobblestone surface, the open black sky hovering above you. The cackling bites at your ears on all sides, multiple figures, and the laughter starts to form, taking the form of a single voice. Oh, little Brolin, lost and astray, with no path to guide him, the mazes do fade. 3 figures from the shadow appear before you, each wielding a separate string leading back into your arm. The middle one steps forward. Oh, Brolin, guides are no longer needed, child. The turmoil of the endless maze need no longer taunt you. We mothers are here to show you the way. What do you do, Brolin?
I go, no. We had a deal. I do something. You bring me back, I do something for you. And that's it. After that, we're done. I'll take the mazes after.
They will lead you nowhere. That Brolin has come and gone. We are here to help you. The only masters left to guide you.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Brolin. We have a gift for you. One that Father wishes to bestow upon you to show his love.
Father, who are you talking about? Father, what?
Don't you feel it inside of you, Brolin? Father's love? And you do. Strangely enough, Brolin, you feel a sense that was not there before, was not there in your first meeting with these 3 women. You can't help, and you can struggle against it, and that's totally cool if you wish to. But you feel the sense that it's that son to mother, son to father. It's that, like, you feel like there's that welcoming here. It's hard to resist. I imagine it's foreign, but at the same time it's something that you almost want to sink into.
What did you do to me? What's this father you're talking about?
All will be learned in time. The gift is for you, freely given. Daughter! She calls to a hooded figure who forms in the vast distance. She approaches with a single step. The cloaked woman reaches out her hand and offers you a token. As her fingers open, you see a ball of yarn. As she speaks, the mothers smile. Take it, Brolin. It will form a bridge where there are none. Let it symbolize us sewing together the broken bridges of your past. They have cleansed me of mine. They can do the same for you.
Does that voice sound familiar to me, to Brolin?
It does. As you look up, produce flame, I imagine, you see it light the face of the unmistakable sharp features of your friend, Valfine. And then you wake. And you see in front of you Valfin. In your bowl, Brolin, is a bowl of yarn.
Okay. So a little bit of his energy. I don't want to say it's red, but like it's like a sickly purple. It's starting to encroach on it.
Sure. Absolutely.
And Frisia is totally not trying to laugh behind him after sneaking away from whispering in his ear and placing a ball of yarn in his bowl.
Yeah.
No!
The whole thing is Frisia. She's the death curse. We're left with 1:30 if you want to have a quick conversation with Valfin.
Bro, like he backs away, like he almost falls on his back.
Well, what did you see?
I saw you.
Me?
You handed me this, and he picks up the ball of yarn from the bowl. It was not there before.
It wasn't.
Yarn? What does the yarn look like? Is there any color? Is
A
it
very
scraggly? Is
very
it
quaint
brand new?
ball of yarn.
I handed you a ball of yarn.
And what did she say? It will lead to paths unseen.
Let's see. We'll form a bridge where there are none.
Said it will form a bridge. You said it'd form a bridge where there wasn't one.
A bridge where there are none. Ball of yarn. Can I make an intelligence check? Would I be able to put that together? Anything?
I think we should save that for when we play one some more. I think the remainder of the night. I think I would like to. I think that's something really fun that we could come back to. What do you guys think?
Okay. Cool.
On it.
Cool.
I will say any kind of check or anything right now would reveal mundane outside of something a little stronger.
Gotcha.
That was very good, Ed.
Very cool.
I'm glad that worked. That meshed well with what I wanted to do.
Yeah, we had a perfect amount of time too. Excellent. Well, my friends, there are 4 more of you remaining. Who wishes to step forth for the next segment?
I can, unless other people want to roll off for it.
I want to see war shit.
Are we doing more?
Take it away, my boy.
All right, let me start the timer.
Do you want to do... Where do you want your stuff, Ed?
My stuff should come after your stuff because I wrote my
Okay.
stuff based off your stuff.
Cool, great. That sounds great.
Oh yeah, especially with yours, I want to come after because I literally wrote after what you wrote. Okay, cool. I will begin. 30 minutes starts now.
Okay.
What do you have for me? What do you have for me, dear War, dear Jacob? What
Alright.
scene would you
I
like to
have...
play?
I have a bit.
Okay,
Just a bit.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, we see the camera flowing over the ocean. It flies up upon the deck of a ship and focuses on War's last look at Waboo. We hear a muted couple last words, and Waboo's spirit dissipates off the back of the ship. We see a flash of the dream arena where War trains with his ancestors, and it's completely empty save for War. We see him close his eyes night after night, stepping into the arena to find no one. We see him one of these nights step out of the fog of the arena and into the arena. He looks around and calls out, "Is anyone there? Hello?" After a few seconds of no response, he sits down and appears to meditate. The camera pulls away slowly out of the arena. The sound of crackling wind grows louder before the camera settles over the shoulder of a figure watching from beyond the fog. The figure's shoulder seems to be made of a black flame. It stands watching for a moment and then darts off screen, followed by a flash of something white and translucent. The camera snaps into combat. We see the fights War has been in, with the spirits pouring out of him, going to protect his companions as usual. But small details get focused in on. An attack actually blocked by one of the spirits. A weapon slowed so it wouldn't sink in to be a lethal blow. War consumed by Zeptus's flames, screaming in anger and pain and concentration as the camera pans to Alexandria with the spirit of Krull in front of her, the flames actually breaking around the shield. The scene goes black. The current camp is set up. War is writing in his journal. The camera, looking over his shoulder, is able to make out the last few sentences. I don't know what is happening. I feel the connection to my ancestors stronger than ever, but the next teacher has not come since Wabu vanished. I'm exercising the patience Wabu taught me, but I'm beginning to worry that something's happened. He backs his journal away in his bag and begins to lay down to sleep. The camera zooms in, focusing on his eyes, and they close sleepily and then jolt open. The camera pans out to show that he is surrounded in fog, the familiar fog of his dreams. He steers out into the arena and through the fog. We see the outline of a turtle in the center. An old woman with dark brown shell and a slightly lighter brown skin sits cross-legged with a smoking pipe propped up against her shoulder. Her head bowed and her hands palm up on her knees. War approaches slowly. Come sit and listen, War. We don't have much time. War sits down cross-legged across from her as she takes a long draw from the pipe. Once seated, she hands it to him. War, my name is Zopa. I'm the first of your ancestors and to place a journal on the stack. I created that hallowed ground and have led those in this world since its creation. I am not your next teacher. She takes the pipe back from War and begins to take another puff. Then who is? Agram was supposed to train you next, but things have changed. Let me explain. Or when you put your journal on the stack, you did something unprecedented. There have never been rules around placing a journal on the stack, but there have been customs. In the distance, we hear a loud crack and the crash of what sounds like a falling tree. Zopa looks up to War from her pipe, unconcerned. Usually when one of us passes, we have our family place our journals. But I have no family to place it. Family is not so simple as having a mate or children. Do you not think yourself as a brother or father to those you travel with? That's not the point, War. And not why I'm here talking to you. You did two things that have never been done before. You placed a journal of one who is not dead, and you placed your own journal. And those things have had a rippling impact on this world and yours. We're in uncharted waters of what this means. There's a loud clang of weapons clashing in the distance, but closer than the last interruption. War looks in the direction of the sound, tensing slightly. Zopa takes another puff and continues. You've probably noticed one of the effects already. You're able to bring us through to your world more strongly. We've been able to intervene in things more physically than before. We've been speaking during your waking hours, and we have a guess as to why. War, this world echoes yours. The journals bind our echoes here, but echoes of the past are different than echoes of something that still lives. Normally, when a journal is placed, a spirit echo is created here. The echo seeks out something to bind to, something it feels closely attuned with, and normally a journal is what the echo finds. But when you put your journal down here, there was something better for your echo to find. It found you, War. And while that in itself may not have caused problems, echoes have rebound themselves to journals after the individual actually died. The problem is in you placing it yourself. When one places the stone on the stack, that person is then connected to this world and the echo of the person whose journal was just placed. Or your echo has not manifested itself. It lives only when you cross into this world during your dreams. In a way, you are that echo, or you are here in a dual state of both this world and yours. And when you bring us through, your echo is like an anchor, and you pull this whole world closer with us. While this has let us help you more during your waking hours, it's done something else as well. The connection is two-directional. And while you pull things from this world has now pulled something else from you. The others are fighting it now. A loud crack emphasizes her words as the sounds of battle begin to be audible. War stands and says, "We should help them." Sit down, War. They are buying us time to have this talk. They know their parts. War looks out, conflicted. Whatever it is remains dormant while you are awake, but when you sleep, when you're here, it pursues you. We've been absent from your training because we have been holding the Dark One back each night. War, looking frustrated, says, "Then let me help you fight it." Let me make something clear. Since we are echoes bound to your journal, we cannot die in this world. But you are here in a dual state. If you die here, we do not know what happens, and we will not let you find out. Sounds of battle draw closer, and sounds of voices become audible. "I don't care. I face dangers every day. I made this mistake. I should be the one to deal with the consequences." Yes, you should own the consequences. I am not convinced, however, that this was a mistake, War. But there is also a line between bravery and stupidity. This thing is strong, War. It's too strong for you. Then help me and let us kill it together. Or don't be stubborn. There are 12 of us fighting this thing each night, and we can barely keep it at bay. It's made it all the way here because I am not there to help them right now. We are talking during the day to figure out a plan, but it has not been going well. As the sounds draw even closer, she shows concern on her face for the first time. Or you need to wake up and rest without connecting to this world again tonight. No, I have to help. From the tree line, a figure is thrown into the arena. The fog at the edge of the tree line shows the outline of two iridescent eyes, blue eyes, on a figure wreathed in black flame. The Dark One appearing there, his voice ringing out, "War, you need to go now." War looks down at the figure thrown into the arena to find the form of a near-death Krull. The Dark One jumps in the air, a tendril of black flame jutting out from it, wielded as a spear. The figure falls, driving the spear through Krull's chest. War begins to move angrily forward, yelling, but Zopa holds him back. Wake up, War. If you want to help us, wake up. The Dark One pulls the spear from Carl, his form falling limp, its eyes locking on War. The Dark One begins to move forward move forward toward War, and another figure thrusts itself between them. She swings his greatsword, pushing the Dark One back a couple steps. War's mother looks back and says, War, I know you want to help, but you need to wake up. It responds, swinging the spear wildly. The Dark One, War, I can't do nothing. You can, and you will. Time slows as the spear of black flame pierces his mother's shell. War begins screaming while Zopa covers War's eyes and thrusts a palm into his gut. Wake up. War wakes, screaming in the center of camp. Raging, the spirits of his ancestors pour out of him. Whoever's on watch currently sees his eyes rapidly dart from spirit to spirit until they settle on his mother and Krull standing before him, battered and panting, but standing. An old turtle woman steps forward from them, her translucent form showing a darker shell, lighter skin, and a long smoking pipe tied to her hip. I told you we cannot die in our world, so we can fight it. The spirits of his ancestors begin to dissipate and fade, leaving him breathing heavily in the center of camp.
Yes. Who was on watch? You decide that, Jacob.
Who's on watch?
Who was on watch? Who saw this?
Yep.
I think we should roll for it.
Okay. Everybody roll d20.
Would you like a GM roll?
No. Just roll it. 2 18s. And it was Berlin.
Nice. By 1.
So you saw him jolt awake. And rage and the spirits and all that.
Brolin's already had a bad night. Whoa. What are you doing? Calm down.
It's alright, bro. I'm okay now.
Could you be gripping your sword, your axe?
Yeah, probably he would.
Yeah, it's like he just,
Reflex.
Brolin looks at the axe. You don't look. He notices that, and you're like, you don't look like you're okay.
I'm fine. He loosens his grip and kind of lets the axe clatter.
Dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my share of those tonight too.
Hopefully yours was better than mine.
Don't bet on it.
Oh, that's great. That's so. Don't bet on it. Excellent. So, War. Is there anything else before I get my tendrils in you, my claws? Anything else that you'd like to detail? We have 16 minutes on the timer. I need about 10.
Okay. I don't have anything specific, but from the last episode, if people noticed the black flames from the viewer perspective,
Yeah.
you'd notice those are the same ones from inside the dream.
Yeah, there were black flames on War's last final hits against the golem in the Shrine of Shigambi. All right, so yeah, we can make that connection. I like that. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Nervous for no reason.
Claws in ya. So, War on a different night, a separate night, probably, obviously, after this one. it would have been probably maybe a day or two before you had another dream, but one would finally come to you in the night. I can hear myself echoing through somebody's thing. I'm not sure what.
Me?
I don't know. Beep 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 beep. Yep, it was you. All right. So, War, we see you. We see you within your dream state, the great expanse of fog lurking all around you. I'm going to change the music. My favorite. This is my music. This is the music that belongs to me. This is my turn music. All right. The stone statues of your many ancestors that normally surround this arena have faded away. In the distance, you see only one, and its shadow, the form of your mother's statue. What do you do?
You know, I see this one where there's usually...
They're usually surrounded by statues, but you only see one before you. And then you know it's the placement of your mother's.
Yeah.
Because when you enter the dream, yours facing it.
You'd look around and then make sure there was actually nothing there, and then
Calm.
maybe start taking a walk towards that direction.
As you take your steps towards the statue, the fog begins to fade around it, and you begin to see this is no statue, War. It is your mother. A cold, concerned look is upon her face. She speaks as she turns from you. There is something you must see. She begins walking away into the fog. Come, she shouts back to you. The mist will not wait for you.
He starts kind of jogging, getting himself ready.
As you are walking behind your mother, I want to give you a moment to speak to her. Just we only have, let me see. Yeah, we've got time. But
Okay.
this is a moment that I can give you if you are walking for a little bit here.
Mhm.
She's about 15 feet ahead of you. This is a moment that you could speak to her if you wish. You tell me what War does.
He probably will speak to her, because one of the things up until this point has been that she hasn't really appeared to him much in a way that he can talk to her. And he'll say, Mother, it's been some time. Why didn't you tell me about all this?
It has been some time, my son. There is much I have not told you. You will know more soon. I think she says, you will know why soon.
I don't know what you mean, but... Okay.
She continues to walk forward. At last, War, you see your mother come to a halt ahead of you. She stops. But as you catch up to her, War, she is a stone statue once more. The fog around you begins to clear, revealing before her a great wall. Upon it is carved a vast illustration of a serpent with its jaws wrapping around the sun. A warrior adorned in golden armor wrestles it back to the earth, and around it, blocks of carved sandstone tell a story. Your eyes begin to focus upon them, and our view, the camera's view, focuses as well, sinking into the illustrations. They begin to come to life as your mother's voice echoes from within them. Long ago, when the first dreams of man came into being, a great evil was born. A serpent of total darkness that devoured the dreams of the living. its hunger would know no bounds, and even the gods were not immune to its nightmare. One day it broke from the world of sleep, and threatened to devour the very sun, ending the dream of creation. It was stopped by the god Ubtao, who had caught it by its mighty tail and pinned it to the ground. The serpent writhed and bit, taking all of the god's power just to restrain it. Ubtao was locked in a battle thought eternal, and he was willing to do so until the end of time. It was then that the Turtles, a people made by his own hand, begged Ubtao to let them take this burden, so that the land below would not suffer in his absence. He agreed, and plunged the serpent into the great volcano known as the Turtle's Maw. Before ripping a fang from its mighty mouth, Ubtao chose among the Turtle people its bravest warrior. And you see the illustration of a turtle holding up its hand, and the god Ubtao putting down what looks to be a weapon in the form of a spear. To him, he bestowed a weapon worthy of combating this great foe. With it, its wielders could enter the dreams of the night serpent and keep its wrath at bay. And so it fell to the Turtle people, or rather, the line of chosen protectors to uphold this great honor. Many sons would fall to the mountain, and the honor would soon become a curse. Each child meant to relieve their father before them. You feel a tugging in your chest, War, as you hear a voice sort of ripple through. War. This ancient duty would continue for thousands of years, War. That is until the day I broke the cycle. We see the illustrations fade away, the focus of your surroundings coming back to you, War. You turn and face your mother's statue to hear her voice once again. You were destined for this fate, War. When they took your father from me, I could not bear to lose you too. And so I hid you away. That is why he has returned, and haunts your very dreams. Because of me, he believes you have forsaken him. And you hear the voice again. War. I am so sorry. The vision begins to fade. What are your last words before the stream ends, War? If you have any, you don't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't have any words. He is wide-eyed.
We see the veil of fog cover, sending you into a white-out space before you wake from your dream. You have 4 minutes left.
Oh shit! Holy shit!
Oh, man.
War's Harry Potter.
Is
Amazing.
there anything else that you would like to delve into, to talk about, or do you want to relinquish your last 4 minutes? It's up to you.
I can probably relinquish that last few minutes because I am processing now.
I have taken some liberties and added to your story. I have taken my tentacles and pulled you into the tomb.
Amazing.
Ever further, as I do for everyone. All right, I'll reset this. All right. Very, very cool. Let's turn back to player music. This is my
Did you just
music.
change a clock?
This is my special music.
Did you just change a clock? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I turned. Oh no, I didn't change it. Let me push the clock forward, and everyone's fucked. Take that.
That's just called the death clock.
That is called the death clock.
That's a great band.
Okay. Let's do.
Is this all gonna be bad news? Can we have one happy story?
There is
probably
one
have to.
happy story. There is one happy story within this. I will promise
It's
you guys
Frisha. She goes and sees unicorns and rainbows.
that. What? Who? Let's do.
Before it's totally free show.
Let's do one more before we take a 5-minute break. Who would like to step forward? We have 3 remaining. We have Josh, Alex, and Kyle. Who would like to step forward here?
I feel like we should wait for mine for the end to bring us back up from all this depression.
Yeah, we're gonna need him to save us.
So, how brooding do we want? Do we want
He's the chaser.
do we want Valoria brooding, or do we want Valfian brooding here?
I vote for Velphine.
Oh, really?
All right.
I want them Velfs.
Lay it on me.
Let's do it. All right. Step forward to my table. Come here. Don't touch the pocket protector. All right. Leave it alone. Okay.
Pocket protector?
It's very nice. It's over and leave it where it is.
It serves you well. I will not judge.
Do not judge the chips on my desk. All right. I just have like a trash can. I just push it over. Hello.
That was all of Arthas.
He's just gone.
No!
All right.
Oh well.
So, wait. This is music for my turn. I want to know about your turn. So, do you have anything that you would like to bring to the table? Any conversations that you'd like to have? Any character moments that you would like to express?
I personally, I don't.
Oh no.
I am 100% clay in your hands, my friend.
You're letting these claws loose. I don't know about that. That's a bad.
He's
That's
exposed to Ao's elements.
claws. Shink. All right, I'll dig in there.
Hurt me more.
Okay, then I am turning on this music. Wonderful. Okay, let's
What's
grab.
Is mine the
yours.
darkest yet?
We'll see. We'll see how you deal.
Sounds churchy. How we doing?
So, Valfing, during one of your meditations at night, your memories that you begin to delve into seem confused, out of sorts, as you try to sift your way through them. And this maybe has happened before, but maybe quite not at this level. You are maybe a little thrown off at how kind of loose everything is feeling. As you try to delve into memories, you find yourself being sort of retracted from them, unable to really sink into any one individual. And then one starts to form around you without your initiation. And it consumes the space of your mind. We see you, Valfing, your form, standing in a vast expanse of space. Below you is a glass floor, diving infinitely into a starry expanse. Close around you swirl great arcs of magic. They come from you, peeling away from the wound in your back. They curl across your shoulders, jutting forward like the wings of a bird. Their tendrils seem to dance and form a great circle of which you stand at the edge. You see now, dominating the center of this circle, is a beautiful lavender orb. Its surface is grainy like that of stone. But as it moves, you see it shifts more like flesh. A great lid opens upon it to reveal an eye. As it looks upon you, you feel no pain. A sense of calm washes over you. Its gaze is old, and feels like one that has seen most everything. It then turns from you, as a shadowed human figure steps toward to meet the edge of the circle adjacent to you. As its gaze rests upon the figure, it lights its form. You see Ilion. He's looking right at you. Ayla, I knew you were alive. I could feel it. What do you do?
What sorcery is this?
Old, ancient magic. Some of which that formed the world. Isn't it just beautiful?
I have questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Where have you been?
I have been through much. It is difficult to explain all at once. I have searched for you in what time was granted to me. I left behind what I could in the hopes that you would find me. And here you are. It's all coming together.
Just kind of shifts.
You can see he's breathing. He's trying to contain excitement.
Is it some kind of... Can tell what kind of excitement? Is it like
he's you could tell he's been thinking of this meeting over and over and over again. He's nervous. He doesn't know what all to say to you, and he seems more in the line of waiting for you to speak. In your time with him, you knew him to be more. I think you were the more extroverted, while he was the more introverted, and this still reigns true.
what brings you here? I've been tracking you for so long.
Here. You mean Omu?
Yes.
You are here, aren't you?
I didn't start here.
No, you are still in Omu, and so am I. This is the closest we have been in years. I'm sorry. I know that means nothing to you, but I am sorry.
That day.
Yes, that day.
Why? You have no idea pain you've caused me.
I know. But I couldn't bear to lose you. You were destined to die that afternoon. The Brotherhood had discovered me. They were going to kill me. I made a deal. I told them that I would betray you. That I would use you to remove the stone. To make a conduit of you for them. But I lied.
Why didn't you tell me?
I couldn't. You must understand. The receiver can never be willing. I wasn't. And he pulls up his arm, and you see a scar across his wrist, and it glows with a red energy that pours forth and links into your circle. So neither could you. I was locked away for a very long time after He's shaking. After I got you out. They weren't happy with what I did. They wanted us both, but I wouldn't let them have it. I don't know where it sent you. But I'm sorry that you've had to go through what you have. Something to note, Ilion does not look the same as he did when you met him. He doesn't look healthy. He looks like bags under his eyes kind of thing. But he looks a little healthier now, but he looks like he's been through some shit. Like he's got some scars that you haven't seen before in places that weren't there. And he says, I escaped the Brotherhood. But what they were trying to do, in a way I am carrying on their work. But I don't want to do what they planned. No, I have something much, much bigger. He turns to look up at the eye. Our time draws short. Do you have anything else you want to say to him?
What are you doing in Omu? You're working with the Red Mages. I don't understand.
Using them. More like it. They are going to lead me to the third. We will find them all. And we will free it. And he looks up towards the eye. And you see it begin to shift again. As it turns away from you two, you see behind it figures, two more take their individual corners of the circle. One, another human figure cloaked entirely in shadow, white strands of magic pouring forth from them, a wind almost, but it passes over, not revealing anything. And then it falls upon the second, a mass, a bulbous, monstrous figure tethered by some kind of cord that seems to fade away into the distance. You have seen this thing before, Valfine, in your dream aboard, your shared dream with the party aboard the ship, that bulbous figure that seemed to consume the skies of Chult. This takes a similar form, but at a smaller scale. You see green strands of magic pouring from its form. The eye passes over it as well, though, its shadow not fully revealed. All the strands of the magic from these four figures, you included, complete the circle. Their power illuminates the eye. And Ilion speaks. You see, the eye shows us. We are close. And he turns to you. Closer than I ever thought possible. to freeing him.
Freeing who?
Thazul-Dun. Aelia, I know you didn't choose this. And you know I didn't. But we can end it. There's so much more I want to explain to you. So much more you must know. I know you are close, or else the eye would have never connected us in this way. We must meet. I have a way to end the death curse. And you see his form start to fade, and yours as well.
I immediately move toward him.
As you try to move toward him as well, you feel as you get closer, your forms begin to fade. More so, even. A way to save this world, but I cannot do it alone. Please, you must find me. And as you almost connect, you see your two strands seal together, and you feel them pull, and immediately you feel an arcing pain in your back and him in his arm, and you both wince. And he says, find me. And you feel the vision tug away at your form. You have a moment to say one more thing.
I love you.
He goes to speak and can't. His form disappears. He looks like he was about to... He just looks up like he's about to say something, and he disappears. And you as well. You find yourself back in the space of your controlled memories. You have a good bit of time, about 15 minutes, to do with as you will.
I'm still trancing.
Yes, you are now. You can choose to leave it, you can choose to change the scene, you can choose to do as you will.
Can I recall the moment the energy started circling out of me?
Yes.
Is that a memory? Is that valid? Okay.
Yes, it's quite fresh as you sort of dip back into it, so it almost kind of burns a little bit as you bring this memory back, because it's just jumping into one that literally just happened. So you can see that some pieces haven't really come to full circle, and it's a little more, actually, so pieces are at full circle. It's more vivid than your previous memories. You're used to blurs, but you're able to see very crisply, and it almost hurts. It's like a stinging sensation.
Can I examine the energy? Do I recognize anything about it? I've literally studied this for the past 5 years, tirelessly.
The energy arcing off of you?
Yes.
Yes. You see within it a raging ocean. You can hear the clash of waves as you step by one of the many tendrils of the magic.
If I go back to the source, I'd like to examine my own back.
Yeah. You see there is a sliver in there. Now this part is a little blurry because you were unable to see that in particular, but what do you do?
Do I still hear the waves?
Oh,
here?
as you get closer, they become louder.
Is it just waves? Is there a storm?
It sounds like a typhoon.
calm?
It sounds like a just the power of an ocean, a weight of the water crushing against itself, the sheer magnitude of that power of nature.
Can I put my hand in there?
Yeah, you go to reach forward towards it. And as you do, you see your fingers begin to go inside, and you feel pain in your back immediately as you do so.
Okay.
And you retract, but you see that immediately your fingers are the smell of salt. You pull back and you can see they are drenched, and the smell of salt and even some foam is on the end of them.
Uh,
Yeah. In this moment, you see Ilian, his arm out. This part of the memory, he's showing you his scar, and you can see it looks very similar to yours. A sort of red light pulsing forth from it.
how similar? Can I
Looks exactly
can I
like
examine
it.
that one also? So it's exactly the same thing.
It looks like the same shape, with the arcane magic sort of pouring out from it. As you step towards the arcs, you hear what sounds like a raging inferno. And as you get closer to the scar, you hear the sounds of what could only be a core of a planet, just raging.
Fire and water. What does that mean?
It would be in this moment that you would notice the eye is looking at you.
Looking at me?
At you.
Me or me?
You. The form of you looking at this memory.
Hello?
No answer.
I move a little bit to the left.
It follows you.
Is the eye suspended by anything? Is it just there in the middle?
Circle, it's floating, sort of right in the center. It's a purple stoned eye.
Purple stone.
Purple stone.
What if... Can I move back and stand in the place I was in the dream, but this time not focusing on Ilian? I'd like to examine the eye.
Yeah.
If there's any change.
It's watching you. You can see that the eye of your memory seems to be moving, but there is so it's almost like a separation where you can see the eye of your memory moving, but another eye, like spectral, on top of it moving in difference to focus on you.
And then you said other figures appeared, 2 others.
Yes, they did. You can move the memory forward.
Of course, yeah.
As 2 other figures take form.
Do I recognize them?
The first
I mean, other than the soulmonger.
The first is one of a humanoid, completely nondescript. You can't make out any discerning details, but a white bands of magic pour forth, and you hear what sounds like a cyclone. You're not able to see a scar, though. Its form is completely dark.
So the face is totally obscured by darkness?
It is a complete dark shadow.
And those are the only other 2 figures other than me and Ilian.
Mm-hmm. Believe we have about 4 minutes.
I guess this is the closest I'll get to the soulmonger a second time. I I would like to examine it.
Yeah, you want to approach
Is it scaled down to my size, or does it tower over?
It's a scaled down form of it. As you approach it, you can see the green sort of arcs of light coming from its form. As the arcs get closer, they just turn to shadow, but peeling out here, they have color. And as you get close to the green arc, you hear what sounds like the rumbling of a massive earthquake.
Earth, air, fire, water. But this eye. Is it still looking at me as I
Yeah.
make my rounds?
Yeah.
How high off of the circle is it?
It's about 15 feet up.
Can I stand underneath
You could.
and look down the glass
You want to look down at the glass, or you look up at the
into
eye?
space? Into space.
Yeah, as you step under the eye, you hear the rattling of chains.
What is this? Rattling of chains. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess taking all that to note, I would let it fade.
You let the memory fade away back into your controlled space of your meditation. Is there anything else in these last 2 minutes?
Last 2 minutes, I think she would just study Alien's face
Okay.
and commit it to memory.
He looks worn. He looks like he has gone through quite a bit. Not recently, but you can see the scars of old, as I described before. He is not the man that you left behind, or left you behind, rather. You can see the stress that's sort of bearing down on his body, the age that has sort of hit him in recent years. He looks well enough, but it's calloused over.
His
Like he
eyes,
yes.
are they mad?
No, but they're desperate. I think that's a really good place to call it as we look at Ilian's desperate eyes. Beautiful. Very, very good. All right, friends. Well, that's 3 down, 2 more to go. We are going to take a 5-minute break and be right back. Thank you to those joining us. We will see you all real soon. 5 minutes. See you in a minute. are back. Welcome back, friends, to Tomb of Annihilation, and to our deep dive episode of the separate characters of our wonderful cast. We've already gone through 3, only 2 remain. Who will be next to step up to the executioner's block? Ao's desk.
You die in the dream, you die in real life.
Well, yeah,
I forgot. Which one of us had the happy one?
I could tell you guys if you collectively are okay with that. If we want to know.
I'm
Volo
curious
Vampadon.
now because like you didn't buy into all of us being like, oh, of course it's Frisia. So, I mean, the only other person being me has me very concerned. I don't know why it could be happy. Hey, it's happy. You're dead.
Wow.
Pain's gone.
Oh
I'll let you guys decide. I'm willing to end it.
No,
on either note.
I want it to be a surprise.
Okay, be surprised. Well, I need to know who's going to be. If it's going to be Frisia or Alexandria stepping up to this.
It's up to you, Kyle. I'll go first if you want me to, or I'll go second if you want me to.
I don't care. I could go either one. If you're ready to go for it.
I will tell you thematically. Never mind. Nope,
Well,
not gonna
we
do it.
started
Thematically,
that.
but never
I'm
mind.
not gonna do that. I don't want to do that. It could work.
You can tell he wants to.
I
He
do
wants-
want to, but I have to not do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. DM's
won't.
lips are
Well,
sealed.
if it's more dramatic for it to be in one order, it should be in one order.
Truth.
Okay, fine. You've taken it out of me. You forced it from my clutches. Oh, you guys.
Those clutches that he. Oh no, it dropped. Whatever, like-
If you
You
guys
mean
want
the
to,
house of cards that holds your heart?
if you guys want to end on a happy note, Frisia. Do you want to-
Wow. What a
Oh.
surprise.
It couldn't be Valoria.
That's if you guys want to end on a happy note. It would be thematic to all the drama that's been going on to end on a fairly kind of happy note. But that's up to you guys.
It's gonna end on a happy note, and then we'll do a final scene that pulls away, and
Death.
then it's not a happy note.
Death for all.
We're in the
Tinder
middle of
unfolding
Omu.
her wings.
So who's it going to be then?
Let's do Alexandria.
That way it's happy at the end and not depressing.
Okay. I'll call it
Okay.
depressing. Alexandria, my friend Kyle, you have 30 minutes, my friend, to bring anything to the table that you wish to bring, any conversations with characters, any moments or memories of your past, or anything that you want to unleash.
I wrote a dream story.
Yay!
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. Let me get you some music. What kind?
Okay.
You message me. You message me.
Okay. I actually picked out songs.
I can't
You,
get those in here.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Unfortunately.
Give me something cold sounding.
Oh, cold. I can do cold.
That is not Chult. If you have anything that is more.
Let me just sift through here. Okay, I have
Never
something that is literally called dark ambience that I've never clicked on before.
Let's hear it.
Oh no.
It's pretty cold.
Also, Dustin, that sounds
What?
great. Can you do me a favor really quick? Because I couldn't for the life of me remember. What's your brother's name?
Jordan. Why?
Mushroom.
No.
Oh, Mushroom.
Musharim, thank you.
Roland's
Sure.
brother.
Okay, cool. So I guess I'll start. So, this happens one of the nights where Alexandria manages to fall asleep. And although she has had many dreams of varying goodness and or the occasional nightmare, this one was particularly harrowing for her. It didn't start out that way though. We see her walking through a storm of biting snow. Okay, Can we change it to some happier?
Yes,
music?
absolutely.
Happier cold music? Like
Happier
this?
darkness, Ed.
You want
Darkness.
happier cold music?
All right, since I trust you to know when to start playing that music.
Okay, when the very okay.
You'll
I don't know.
absolutely know when that music is.
I don't
fitting.
know. I just do not have happy music. I have one happy track.
Wow.
Is there no happy songs for Tomb of Annihilation?
What about just like a wind? Is that like
A wind, like a cold
wind.
wind, would be perfect.
a cold wind would be
A
perfect?
blizzard.
Let's
Yes.
do some wind.
Just some wind ambience.
There we go.
Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. All right. Alexandria walks through a storm of biting snow. The silhouettes of tall pines stand like crooked fangs bending in the wind's howl. We look down upon her as she works herself slowly through the deep snow, obscuring what was once a road, now buried by the winter's snow. She forges forward, her winter coat clung tight by fur gloves, while her heavy cloak whips violently in the frostbitten air. Although labored, her steps are confident, as if walking a path long traveled. Her journey through the storm ends. The winds dying down to reveal a small town hidden within the white. She smiles warmly as she slowly walks towards the town's gate. A pair of wooden poles, bridged by a sign upon which is hung a deeply carven name, painted in golden. Flowing script, and flanked on either side by candled lanterns. New Fandelver. Slowly she makes her way through her home, eyes warmly searching for the people she has grown to miss in her long self-imposed exile. The warm firelit windows dance with happy shadows, her people wisely sheltered away within their homes during the blizzard. Steeling herself for the coming climb, she pushes forward toward the looming cliffs ahead. Alexandria continues up the main street, ascending a winding slope to her home, a walled manor house perched upon the cliffs above Fandelver. Candlehearth. It stands proud and strong as a castle, its silhouette parting the blizzard in twain like a proud stone before the ocean, protecting Fandelver from its bite. Every step up the cobbled street sees her cheerful demeanor fade to one of sorrow and regret as her eyes study that looming manor. Its shadow is long and cold as it reaches out from its walls. Eventually, she reaches them, gates open and unguarded. She steps through, walking up to the thick wooden doors of her house. Delicate fingers touch its wooden surface shyly. A shallow, nervous breath later, she pushes the door open and steps inside the warm halls. In the tallest tower, her mother's library, a warm and welcoming place of study which served as her youthful prison, with her mother as its warden. A tear falls down her cheek as those memories play through her mind. She remembered how miserable she had felt, forced to study and practice. A woman's tender voice completes her thoughts. For your own safety, trust your mother. She wipes the tears away, regretting the ignorance of her youth, looking for her mother, a constant within these library halls. She isn't here, a hollow voice answers. Cue the music.
Okay.
Now it's
1 second. Let me get. Okay, here we go.
The cue.
its rasping echo like frostbite upon the back of her neck. You gave her up. Remember? You gave them both up. Gone. Cursed. like you wanted. She whips her head around, looking for the source of the voice, eyes wildly searching the room as she slowly makes her way towards her mother's desk. Liar! She calls out. I am, the voice croons proudly. Lies are a shroud, a shelter, a properly woven suit of armor. This, however, is a painful truth that you know. They died because of you, and you know it. She grips her hair, stifling a frustrated shout, hairs splintering as she rips her fingers free and dashes for the desk. Third drawer, secret panel in the bottom. One tap, her mother's voice echoes through her mind once more. A twirl and a chant. Her mother's... Oh, sorry. She rips out the drawer and pulls forth the hidden wand. Remember your mama's name in Elvish? Just say the words. Alexandria points the wand towards the empty room and the frigid voice, shouting, Serana Lindiara! As magic pours forth from the wand, pulsing outward and creating the ward that always kept them safe. The silence is welcoming. She sits down in her mother's chair and sighs with relief. A cute trick, the voice croons from behind the chair, freezing her in a panic. Your mother must have been a powerful wizard for her time. But that won't work on me, puppet. Alexandria stifles a terrified scream, fingers digging into her cheeks as she covers her lips. Since you aren't up for talking, let me show you something. She feels that icy voice gripping the head of the chair. It pushes her forward, passing her through the desk as if a ghost. The library soon follows, as she whips through the manor itself, walls meaning nothing, as she flies out to the outer walls. She screams. Thandelver burns. Hulking, dark creatures amid the flames, as the town is put to the torch. The screams of her people carry up the black smoke, rising like crooked fingers over the village. They are all doomed, of course, thanks to you and your mothers. The torch isn't even the worst of it. The death curse waits for them all, you know. Consumed by endless torment, damned to suffer in death. Mother, she croaks, her cheeks stained as her eyes remain glued to the slaughter below. They haven't suffered their final deaths yet, you know. I can feel it. They haven't joined Musharib or that foolish merchant. But soon enough, even the willow in her candle will be put out. Just like you wanted. But I suppose you could save their souls. That's why you're here, isn't it? But I must warn you, you have been so painfully slow, child. They may be strong of will, but no one can hold out forever. She turns to confront the voice, screaming for him to get out as she rips herself up out of her sleeping bag, pointing the wand that is no longer in her hand. And she tries her best to cut her scream short to avoid attention. Panicked eyes looking through the veil of her tiny hut, missing her wand and her mother. That's what I wrote.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh my goodness. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, with that, we still have 17 minutes. I only need 10, and I'm going to tell you right now, from AO to Alexandria, what I wrote is very similar, but a little different. And I think I can get it to entwine perfectly. But I still would like to give you the chance to say anything else, unless you would like me to do mine first and then see if you have anything after. Anything else you'd like to dive into, because we still have 17 minutes.
No, that's all I had written. I didn't want it to run too long, so.
Okay.
So- On a non-directly related to that, one of my characters caused a lot of damage to that house.
different multiverse. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of impromptu this a little bit to change some things, because I also made a dream for you, Alexandria. I think this should be fun, and if anything feels like it doesn't quite sync up, you can help me sort of fit it in. I've got some ideas of what I can do. I'm going to kind of play off that experience, that dream that you had of Fandelver, your home. Let me get some music in here. I'm gonna start with the wind too. I'm
It's a good
also
thing it was on the screen already.
so. Our camera rests upon a scene familiar, Alexandria. You have obviously had this dream before. We see a chamber. Many shelves and books line its walls, and a singular oaken desk sits right in front of a window, tall, overlooking a village below. We recognize it as our viewers, obviously, as the place that we just seeing one of your dreams, but this is later on. This is different. That dream that you experienced is one that you remember. But this one is one you won't. So, we see, and you've already detailed your home. I literally have a thing here that's like, detail your home for me, and you've done it already. So we already have those details. We see a snowy expanse outside, buildings in the village where the roads meet. The buildings seem to build up more. Something that we do spot that we didn't before, Alexandria, is we look upon your back sitting in the chair, and we see 2 arcing wounds going down your shoulder blades, lengthy tears bleeding through your shirt, but the blood has long dried. It's cold now. Same with this room. I think we get a very cold feeling. Our camera begins to circle around you, around the room. Something's off. Your eyes are shut. Your hands are grasping the edge of the desk, and you are concentrating. We begin to see the veils, the small cracks on the magic that you had cast previously, the orb surrounding that desk. Am I doing good so far? Is this all lining up? Perfect.
No, you're good.
I'm going to shift the music. Back to this. So, as the camera turns, we begin to see blurred borders of the village around you. The walls seem to fade away, opening this tallest tower to the world around you, to the elements. We hear the wind sort of battering away, the walls kind of just detaching and disappearing, and we see the village itself before you, but its borders, as I said before, are blurred. We can only see the village itself as you sit there and concentrate. You focus ever harder, and our camera rests, at last facing you, or facing your back. As it does, we see in the corner of the room a figure that was not there before. The corner of this sort of open expanse, a single individual, a frail and elderly shadow sitting atop a spindling chair. The only detail to its silhouetted form is 2 pinpricks of light that make up its eyes, and it's sitting right across from you. So, where were we, Valoria? Ah, yes. Your home, the Willows Mansion. Alexandria, you are back. Back in this nightmare. This endless interrogation. A never-ending loop that, as you wake, you always fail to recall in the morning. But now you are here again. Those memories come flooding back to you. In front of you is your interrogator. For years it has pried at your mind, its only goal to know you entirely. Now that we're here, I want to know more. Tell me of your home. And he sort of just peeks around. I know the name of your mother. I know that this place will burn. But there's so much more that I can learn about you. So, what importance did your mother have for you? This is not the first time you've been asked a question much like this. This place where you are now, it's your final bastion. The one place this individual has yet to learn everything about. And one thought permeates your mind above all others. If it sees, if it truly knows all there is about your memories here, this place, then there will be no more left of you to hide. It is pride already. It has learned more than you would ever have had it. But if you don't give it something, anything, you will not wake up. I would like to know what this conversation is like. The dream that you had previously is one that you get to carry with you of this space, but this one I'm going to have separated. I would like to know what extra piece of information that he has to and does peel from you. You have to give him something.
The conversation would go as it does every time. She refuses to give it anything. She has no desire to.
Oh, Valoria, how much longer must we play this game? Soon enough I'll come through the cracks. Just something, a token.
Yeah, she persists, although her will being strong.
And you're holding onto the desk that magic surrounds you.
Yeah, she always hopes that this time will be the time where she can escape without giving something up. But it never plays out that way. And eventually, she would succumb to her own weaknesses. And this time, I'm trying to think what she would give up.
Yeah, it could be something that we don't even know about her as an audience. Something that she has to peel away in relation to her home, in relation to this place, this final bastion, this thing. He has not learned everything about this place.
Mm-hmm.
He knows your mother's name. He knows this mansion was your home. He knows it's important to you. But yeah, you look below and see the village, all the buildings, things that the blur of your concentration has had to give way to him, things that he has had to learn, have been able to learn about this place.
Okay. The thing that he takes from her is that when she left, using a very familiar spell that her mother taught her, she was able to stash one particular object which, unbeknownst to her, would cause all of these events to unfold. And that was her mother. Her candle. She stole it. And she has it hidden away in her own private space, and has it with her. And without Serana, Fandalver will eventually burn, because Willow can't protect it by herself.
Yes. So that is where she has gone. The apple, quite literally, does not fall far from the tree. Good. That was more than I expected. I am feeling quite full.
And we see a crack in the shield that protects you. A single, just sort of silk of that memory away, and it grasps it, the shadow consuming it, and it fades.
I feel so much closer to you now. But I'm still curious. And perhaps you will humor me on current events. We have reached Omu. This I know. We are much closer now than I have ever been before. How many keys to the door have you acquired?
And you can choose what you want to say here. You are not compelled.
Not enough.
I trust in your capabilities. I'm sure I won't have to wait much longer.
I'm going to give you a word in chat. When compelled to do so, you will say that word. As the conversation concludes, and you feel yourself begin to wake, the creature speaks an incantation, almost rushed, hurried, like it's worried that you're going to leave before it can speak the words, but you don't.
The hand cursed to reach and never grasp. The eye cursed to seek but never find. Of whom are the last words of which I speak?
And you are compelled to reply.
Vecna.
You feel his breath begin to
fade. You can see him, hear him exhale, and you as well. Its pinprick eyes shut, and you feel a release. Your fingers no longer gripping the desk, and as they lift away, we see the marks of many, many times that this has happened before, dug into that desk. And as you release, you wake. You have 2.5 minutes that are yours to do with how you will.
Okay.
I'm going to turn on the Inquisition music.
The only thing she would do after having that dream and not remembering anything about it except for just raw emotions.
But you do have that one. That's what I love about this. You've gotten to keep one of these encounters. Your dream that you did it first.
Yeah, she remembers that one. The thing she will do after waking from this one she no longer recalls. As she'll, like most of these other dreams, she'll be overwhelmed with the feeling that she needs to do something but not understanding why. And so she'll do something she almost forgot she could do. As she reaches out in front of her, not paying attention to anyone around her, it's something she needs to do, and her hand pushes through space, vanishing as if sinking into nothing, cut off mid-forearm, and then she pulls out a lantern with a single red candle in it, burning faintly. And then she hugs it to her chest. She says, "You're still here." And then a very creepy smile plays across her mouth. One that she may very well not be aware of.
No. She
Go
ahead.
Before reaching out again and putting the lantern back.
The flame hasn't gone out. She's still there. Oh, God. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, you got me with that one a little bit, Kyle. That's our old game. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was fun.
That was very, very fun. Yes, we. God, those were. Yeah, it was. It's interesting how these seem to be tying in with things that you guys are saying. I did Wars on purpose because I read his. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tie that right in, and everybody else's is just plugging into where it is. I'm like, oh, yay! Your guys' stuff is going into my stuff. Yay! That works. All right.
Can I just say that I like to think that Orvex is just in the corner looking at all of this?
Everybody wakes up at the same time. Oh! Everybody. Oh, that'd be so great. That's in the chibi canon, or non-canon.
Yeah, like one time.
Did you?
And then Prisha just wakes up like nothing. Yeah.
She jumps to her feet, and the cape billows.
Billow.
You sleep with the
Oh
cape
my
on?
God.
She sleeps with the cape on.
Oh my god.
So, my friends, we have one final
Last but not
session.
least.
Last but not least, we have
Yes.
our Freesia. I will start the timer now. So, let's get my favorite music up. There it is. Perfect.
Some of that juicy Alex.
And
Let's
I would
do
like
it.
to build off of yours.
You would like to build off mine, so you'd like me to go first.
Ooh,
Okay.
mixing it up.
Of
Interesting.
course he is.
Interesting.
Alex.
That means we're gonna have a bad ending after.
We'll see. I'm curious what Alex will do. So I've out of all of you, I took the most liberty with Alex. I told him this, but I'm interested to see where this will go. Let's change our music up just a little bit.
There it is.
I thought you said that you didn't have happy music.
I have
a
one
very-
happy track.
In very stark contrast to the rest of his library.
It is. It will shift a little bit. Our camera fades into a scene of the past. A modest interior of a home. We can see through a window pane outside that the weather is cold. Snow building up against the thin glass. Through the fogged-up window, a street is visible. One belonging to a quaint village. A single hearth with a roaring fire sits at the center of the building. Its warm orange glow keeps the place habitable on this gray afternoon. Frisha, this was your home. This place was where your mother raised you. The veil tends to blur, so the details are obscured for me, but I would like to give you this chance, as someone who once lived here, to detail or even correct me on the location and the many elements that we view now.
Well,
This is too happy.
one of the big changes is Frisha grew up in a caravan, so she grew up in a wagon.
You grew up in a wagon. We're not in a home. We are in a wagon. This wagon, can it have a fire?
Yeah, it's like one of those a big home
Yeah,
wagon. It's part
big
of a
home
constantly
wagon.
traveling family.
Can it have 2 floors?
Sure, why not?
Yay!
Does it ford rivers?
It probably could, if it's this big. So yeah, we have this big, huge traveling wagon. What we would see outside is definitely a village, but it is a village of other wagons, sort of in one of those circles. We would maybe even see a fire outside and some people gathered around it. But there would be a fire at the hearth inside of here as well. Does that all fit?
Yeah, and these are wagons that are well traveled. All of them have lots of repair done to them, but they all set up in this circle. It looks like a village. All of these homely wagons, and then there are all of the horses surrounding with the actual supply wagons.
I want you guys to imagine a very Howl's Moving Castle inside of this place. Like, everything's kind of like shoved together and put everywhere. Very, very much gypsy camp style. I think that's definitely the look that we would have here. I love it. This place, Frisha, has life in it. We can hear the creaks and rattles of footsteps, the bubbling of the kettle over the fire, the steam of something delicious pouring forth from it and filling the room. It's a special day today, Frisha. Your father is meant to return this very afternoon. I'm actually going to flip that, not return. You have come through the same spot that you come round every year, where your father meets you. It's been almost a year, in fact, a year to the day, and that day has finally come. It's your birthday. You've been kept warm of late by your mother's stories of his travels in letters he had written her, but today is the day that you can hear them from the man himself, as he always promised you this day. We see the girl of the hour bounding down the stairway of this double-decker wagon. A young woman, not even 13. As she rounds the corner, we spot your younger self. Tell us about her.
She is constantly climbing on things that she definitely should not.
She's going down the railing, like stepping on the rail.
Like going down the railing, wings are fluttering.
Oh, yeah.
There's an obvious crash mark at the end of the stairs where she has hit the ground really hard a lot of times. And it's a cleared section of the stair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's probably like a couple of pillows there, probably placed by your mother. She just knows that that's where you come down. They come down in the same place every morning. And you just crash into that pile. Pff, like feet overhead kind of thing. Like very, very Pippi Longstocking style, just like tumbling down into this pile.
Her clothing is a completely mismatched assortment of clothing because she's used to the most of the year being in slightly warmer areas, but
Yeah.
this part of the trek is up into the colder reaches of.
Yeah, you are in Neverwinter. That is what you are passing through right now. You're not in the city, you're in the outskirts. So that's something that you would know. And you know the name because, I mean, this is where you see Dad. I love that. So we see your mother as you crash in, and she rolls her eyes, and she says, Frisha, will you ever learn, lass? She's in the middle of preparing a meal. Her face does light up when you enter the room as she smiles and sips at the ladle. Can you describe her to me?
My mother is just a fairly plain woman. She just is very homely and has seen many years for sure. I was a late child.
You're definitely a late child. She's a very mundane clothes, but there's a beauty, a kindness, a wisdom to her.
Yeah.
For sure. As she sort of stirs the pot, I want to give you a moment to interact with your mother. Just some little bit of improv with me. She says, "So, are you excited?"
Yes, and she's just snarfing down her food as fast as she possibly can so she can get outside.
Yeah, you
wait for her dad.
Yeah, you've got like some bread in your hand. She's like, I haven't even poured the stew, lass. Can't you wait just a moment? She says, he'll be here. He always is. And she starts to continue to stir as you chew away at the bread. As a conversation with your mother unfolds, little things of you wanting to get up, and she's saying no, and she pours you the thing, and she says, now eat it. And she already has you. She's got the spoon in your hand, got you going.
Her wings are constantly aflutter because she can't move in any other way, really.
Yeah, your mother's constantly just pushing them down. It's like kind of like get in the way. It's like, come on, calm down. So, the excitement of the room begins to stir as the sound of heavy footsteps weigh at the front door. A silhouette of a man fills the window there. What do you do?
She jumps up, contrary to her mom's stopping her, and goes flying out the door, like, dive.
Yeah. You immediately crash through the door. It busts open, and we hear oof on the other side as the shadowed figure, the door slides open, the shadowed figure is completely knocked out of the pane of view of our camera, and we hear a plunge into the snow. We see a shot from over the shoulder of your father. We don't get a look at him, we get a look at you. You're looking down at him. Excited look on your face. There he is. It's your dad. And he says, my, you've grown so big.
On top of that, she's not wearing shoes and realizes that after she gets outside in the snow.
He picks you up, your by arm. We hear your wings fluttering as he steps inside, closes the door with his heel. We still have yet to get a look at his face. He steps into the room and sets you down. I imagine there's an excited, like, Disney little girl character jumping, like, up and down kind of situation. His back is still to us as he ushers your excited form inside and faces your mother. He says her name and his. It's good to have you back, Simber. Our camera at last turns to rest upon your father. There, standing before us, is artist Simber. Frisha, whether you treasure or possibly lament this memory, it's one you will never forget, for it's the last time you ever saw your father. There were no more birthdays after this one. That's what I got.
That wasn't that happy.
It's pretty happy.
That's still sad.
It had a sad ending.
It did. But this is a memory that Frisha holds. Now, do you treasure or lament it? You're
Really
muted.
treasures this memory, but the I can add to this now.
Okay,
So
you have
cut
18
ahead
minutes.
A few years. Yeah.
Yeah, a ton of
So
time.
cut
But
ahead a few years.
yes.
Every year when this day comes around, she is expecting him. At her 16th birthday, she decides that she's no longer going to wait for him. She is going to go chase him down.
Yeah. And before you go, I'm going to add something. Your mother knows you're about to leave, and I think it's a situation. It's very much it's the Pokemon mom. She's like, I know you're going on your adventure. I know you're going to leave. I can't stop you. And she would say, I know you're going to look for him. He's a tough man to find. Let me tell you, I spent a time in my life looking for him as well. I just had to accept that he'd come to me. I don't know why he hasn't returned. But if you're going, I can't stop you. You have his heart. And you should carry it with you. And she hands you a small wooden case. And when you open it, you see there is a pin. Upon it is a symbol of a harp. It says, this might get you halfway. I hope I'll help you. And she embraces you before she sends you on your way. Muted again.
All right, sorry, I needed to actually just put myself and not push talk. Frisha, upon leaving, makes her way through the wilderness to the Dale Lands, and after years of searching, finds the Harper Academy.
Yeah, you do. Oh.
She basically begs, borrows, and steals her way into that academy.
Yeah. So for this, I have something. You tell me or not. You never reveal who your father is.
Oh, never.
Yeah. Okay. That's so good.
That's such a revelation.
But you have to sniff every mission you get, every little thing you get. You are every step trying to get closer and closer to your father. Everywhere you hear his name, you follow it until, I think, and you tell me if I'm going too fast, the name Mert comes across your plate.
Yeah,
Yeah. We would see, I think, do you have anything else? I have like a scene that's definitely
I've got a little. After she leaves after she has been trained, she takes up with the circus and is exploring all of the Sword Coast. The only place she'd seen her father was along the Sword Coast.
Yeah.
So she took up with the circus to try to perform what she could, talk to nobles. One of the last things she did before she found Mert. Actually, no, that's another story. We're gonna go with that story later.
We're going with that story later? Okay, yeah, we'll save that one. Do you want to skip to Mert?
We'll skip to Mert and then we'll continue.
Yeah, we would see in sort of a gloomy, a little bit gloomy, but a very extravagant office. It just looks gloomy, like it hasn't really been taken care of in a while. Like there hasn't been servants in here. There's cobwebs gathering in different places. There's dust gathering in different corners. But we would see the door sort of rustle its way open, and we would see a mustachioed figure walk in, a man of a sort of a heavy weight, wearing very much a Three Musketeers outfit style sort of look. As he walks in, he says, "The dust is terrible." Okay, he just goes over to a desk, pushes everything off, and says, "It must be here somewhere." And we see him start to just fiddle through things before we see you walk in. And he says, yes, welcome, Frisha, was it? Yes, I have been expecting you. Welcome to my humble abode." And you have been ushered in by a butler who looks a little bit disheveled, like he probably doesn't do a lot lot of work here, but he's just kind of like, all right, here's the door kind of situation. And he says, when I heard another harper made its way through Waterdeep, I knew I had to contact you, putting my feelers out there for a significant name, one that you seem to have answered to. He takes a piece of paper that he's found, taking some time, and turns it over and pushes it towards you as you approach the desk, and you see upon it a beautiful illustration. Do you know what that is? It's a ring.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Do I have a story for you? And that is where that is going to cut off right there, as you are handed the mission that have brought you where you are now. From the
Question.
Mudfinder. Yes.
Does she know dragon bait?
Yeah.
no.
He would be described to you by Mert.
Oh man.
And yeah, that's we would see these scenes line up, telling us the tale of a bit of the tale of Freesia and her backstory. With a good 12 minutes left, is there anything else, or is that a good place to call it?
I think that's a good place to call it.
All
Trisha
right.
should remain mildly mysterious.
Yes,
I
there
was
are
going to
some
tell the
things.
story of when she accidentally mocked someone to death, but
We'll get to that one. That one should be fun.
Wow.
good lord.
Yeah, I remember his ghost aboard the ship. That was a good time. Very cool, guys. Well, that is our deep dive episode. That is everything, my friends.
That's a lot. That's a lot to.
We're-
That's a lot.
It's a lot to process.
It is.
Diving.
We only have 20 minutes left in the session. I don't think we need to dive into any like actual game yet. It's not enough time to really start anything up, and I think this is more of a better way to end it. But final thoughts before we close the stream. I'm blown away by all the stuff that, oh man, because now I know some things. I know
The
some
fuck? That's
You guys
fuck?
do realize, though, that Artist Simber is going to get tackled when we find him.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uncle Dragon Bait.
Uncle Dragon Bait.
Good.
That's gonna be a very funny
There
situation.
might be an oh shit moment by Artist, though.
I can see that. What are you doing here? You have a artist. You have a kid.
Yeah. Want to know what's really interesting? The party
Your
has
daughter's crazy.
met someone who also claimed to be Artist Simber's daughter. Thus
Yes,
far.
we have.
Oh.
And when you told him, he was like, I don't have a daughter.
I remember that.
I like to think
I remember that.
He's a sleeper. He likes to
Might be.
sleep around with people.
They can't resist that 10,000-year-old dad body.
How
On
many?
their 16th
He looks
all
like
of
Nick
Artist
Cage.
Simbers.
Go
He
ahead,
does.
Kyle.
Oh my god.
What were you saying, Kyle?
I was thinking on their 16th birthdays, all daughters of Simber must search for their
There's
father.
so many daughters of Simber. All of
Artist,
them
what
so-
the hell is wrong with you?
Daughters of
Given,
Simber.
Freesia has been looking for her dad for a long time. She is 45.
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
true. That's true. He's a hard guy to track. Did you guys know who it was when I said the voice?
I did. I was waiting for it because you did the voice. And I was like, wait.
Oh, man. So good.
I thought it was weird that his baby mama / wife or Frisia's mother called him by his last name.
Yeah.
It's very formal for someone
Well.
you know.
Also,
They only meet once a year.
Freesia changed her last name
Oh yeah. I imagine
to be a
so.
Harper.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine you would. Absolutely. Larkspur is a Harper name. Or it could be your mother's name. Oh, it's up to you. It's very cool. I love all of our all of our very special stories. I love all of them. They're so good. It's grand. It's quite grand. So far, I feel like everything's tied in pretty well.
So there's a lot of. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. There's a few people I think who probably have a lot of questions. In this
I notice
party.
you're kind of tying in people's stories together.
Maybe a tiny bit. Where there are arcs that I will, for sure.
My story is not tied into anyone else's.
Not at all. No.
That's how
No
they
idea
start.
what you're talking about.
At least not you guys.
I don't know anyone.
Oh my god.
Too good, guys. Too good. All right. Well,
I don't have dossiers on all of you, by the way. Totally don't.
I don't know anything about anybody.
Brolin? Would bro? All right.
Well, it was last seen with a really short dwarf who keeps trying to hand out berries to everybody. It's really easy to find.
That's an anger problem.
Oh, short and
Let me see
stature.
that dossier.
Coincidentally, Brolin is how I found you guys.
Yeah, with every group there's a giveaway, and this dwarf was a giveaway. let me
Oh,
tell you.
Brolin's famous in Port Nines Iron. That's
Yeah.
how I found you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's a famous gladiator. Gives berries to everybody he meets, so they can't miss him. Not from a mile.
Short in stature, tall in volume.
All in volume. You can hear him before you see him.
From at least a mile.
I love it. Oh,
Holy cow.
Decent chance Frisha knows every single thing you've done in Port.
we'll see what information Mert has
Everything.
gathered.
Oh no, I'm saying of
Oh,
Brolin.
import. Yeah,
of
probably a
Brolin.
good amount. Yeah,
Do you know about Tiny Brolin Jr.?
I think I met Tiny Brolin Jr.
might
She
have.
did.
Yeah, I think I did.
Could have. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close out our stream for the night. We can hang out for a little bit after. I'd like to thank those who joined us for this wonderful journey through all of our different characters' backstories and different fun things about them. Super appreciate you stopping by. Big time. I'd like to thank my amazing cast for just being absolutely fantastic. I appreciate it, guys. Big time. Yes, you can see us play more Tomb of Annihilation as we continue our trek next time through the many shrines of Omu to try to open that great door within Mondays, 7:30. All right, that's everything, friends. Take care and good night. Bye.
Bye, Bye, Julian.